All right, what's going on, you nut jobs? It's Monday morning. It's 10 o'clock. You know what time it is. Time for that first look odds, that little first peeper. I'm taking my first, it's like seeing your first little, your first lady part for the first time. And you got your wide eye, you're like, ooh, maybe you guys know that or not. DB here, Tour Junkies, ready to go. It's the BMW Championship, the second event of the playoffs. And we're going to do we're going to do some things different this week. We're going to mix it up a little bit. All right. So, here's what we're gonna do. I didn't do a all you need to know show for the Wilmington Country Club because honestly, it's just such a pain in the ass to do. Because like it actually takes me longer to make up all the stupid slides that I play on the show than it does to actually do the research. And I didn't feel like doing it for a golf course that we probably won't see again for a little while. So I did a bunch of research. I even talked to somebody who's already there. And I'm gonna boil it all down. I'm really boiling it down for you this morning. I'm gonna really boil it down. So I'm gonna combine the what you need to know course deal with the first look betting odds. Because plus, we only have 70 guys in the field. So the first look betting odds show is going to go bing, 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 bong, boom. It's going to go fast. Okay. So I figured I could use a little bit extra time and I could just combine the first look, show right then and there. Now, if you're in the chat, holler. I see Marcus in there. Not many of you guys are in here, so that's cool. It's the BMW Championship, so I guess people just don't care, or maybe they're tired of me. That could be true as well. I mean, I'm almost 5 months into full time DB. If you guys aren't tired of me yet, I'm not doing it right. All right, so let's talk about Wilmington Country Club. It's a Robert Trent Jones design, par 71, around 75 hunch. So let's pull it up. Here's the scorecard. Look at this awesome graphic with my mouth moving right underneath it. So this is the scorecard. As you can see, you got three lengthy par threes. They could tip them out all three over 200 yards. Looks like probably number 15 will play over 200 almost every day, I'd imagine. You got three lengthy par fours. So you've got number 5 right there at 495 yards tipped out. Number 8 and number 9, 490, 490. Like, dang. Okay, that's a long par 4 player. You got some shorties though in there. You got a couple shorty par 4s in there, and then the par 5. So the first par 5, which everybody is going to look at and think it's a little kitten compared to the other two. First par 5 is 582. And then the next couple are over there's 634, 649. Holy crap. Like Pat would have to hit 4 drivers to get there. If you're wondering where Pat is, by the way, here's a picture of Pat. This is what he's doing right now. Hi, I'm Pat. Hi, this is Pat. He is actually caddying for one of our friends in the US Mid-Am qualifier. He's a really good player. Shout out Shout out Pat. Look at him rocking a Champions Retreat polo and that's a North Barrack hat. And look at the steaming look. He just sent me this picture like right 3 minutes before we went on air here. Look at that look there. Like, what's he saying to me? I got a bunch of heat for being all toxic and hot last week on the show, but look at Pat right here. He's like telling me to F off right there with his eyes. But look, shockingly, he's in a blue shirt. I mean, I know everybody's just amazed by the blue shirt. And I say he's caddying, but he's not really caddying. He's just pushing the buggy. He's Blair doesn't need Pat to help him on the golf course. I can assure you of that. But I don't know what Pat's doing. He literally sent me a picture. He's pushing the buggy. He's got a drink in the covers. Probably got vodka in it. So I'm like, you're not really caddying, dude. You're I don't know what you're doing. You're pushing a cart for 18 holes and you're having a walk. That's all you're doing. So anyway, shout out Pat. Hope he's having a good time. What's up, everybody in the chat? Marcus, Brent, Alex, Tar Heels, Spags in here. Oh, look at this. Brent Harris. This is awesome. Setting up classroom for my first day with students tuning in. Can't comment much. JT week. Well, thank you, Brent. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for shaping the young minds of America. You know what I mean? We need some good teachers out there. There's a lot of wacko teachers in this world, like freaking whack jobs that need to be taken out and like they need to be like, I don't know, they need to be working in the go to the post office where all the other crazy people work. Like, do that job. Don't shape and mold young minds of America unless you're Brent. Brent's probably a really great teacher. He's listening to me. All right, so more on the course. Wilmington Country Club. I showed you the scorecard. Dude, this is what's crazy. This golf course average green size, and this is kind of a staple for Robert Trent Jones, is big ass greens. The average green size is 8,100 square feet. 8,100 square feet. That is massive. That's really, really, you know, really big, grande, you know? So we're gonna have high greens and reg numbers, I'll tell you that. So par 71, 7,500 yards. The greens are bent grass, northeast bent grass. You know, this is a parkland style, weaving through the woods. I watched a video, some satellite videos of the layout on the south course, which is where I think they're going to play most of this golf tournament. Um, and I like what did this flyover thing on Pro Visualizer, and what I did notice is this: a number of the holes had openings in the front, and why that matters. Don't be sick. Don't be a sicko. I know, like Crazy Mark is probably he's probably thinking something weird. So when you have a hole that's got an opening in the front, you know, you can kind of bounce one up there. It tends to help the bombers a little bit. Like if you look at certain courses where Bryson just chose to bomb and gouge regardless of the rough conditions, it would be on courses where there's an opening in the front. You could bounce a ball up onto the green without at the front of the green out of the rough without worrying about water or sand or whatever. Now there's a lot of a lot of bunkering on this golf course. 91 bunkers on the course according to the GCSAA, and water does come into play on a maybe 4 holes, it says. But a lot of openings in the front of these greens. Definitely some tree troubles if you get offline to a certain extent. I would imagine the rough's going to be thick and whatever. But what we've heard so far from one person who's already been there because they had a short weekend is at the St. Jude is this is a bomber's paradise. And I mean I think we could all come to that conclusion based on the scorecard, based on watching the videos that I've watched. Yeah, big greens, long golf course. This is going to be a bomber's paradise. I think guys are going to hit plenty of drivers. I think we're going to look at bombers. We're going to look at elite to mid long iron guys. So, I mean, it doesn't completely rule out the shorter hitters because there are some short par fours here as well. And some of these par fives being as long as they are, maybe 3 shots for everybody. So when you have that kind of setup, it may mean that the shorter players that are really hitting their irons exceptionally well this week can do something. But I'm going to lean bombers here. Bent grass putters, of course. And to me, 3-putt avoidance is going to be huge. I mean, you got a damn greens the size of an Ashley Furniture home store out there. You could put like 48 bedroom suites, on display on those greens. That's how big these things are. So you better bring the lag putting. This would be bad news for me. I can tell you that. I mean, just ask all of my caddies in Scotland, all 7 of them in Scotland, about my lag putting ability, and it is not good. So the Wilmington CC is not a golf course I will be playing. Also, who goes to Delaware? Like, what is it? What is in Delaware? I literally there is probably not another state in the union that I forget exists more so than Delaware. Like Delaware is below like Idaho. Like sometimes I would forget Idaho's a state or Rhode Island. I know Rhode Island. It's beautiful. Martha's Vineyard, I think, is up there. I got a friend from Rhode Island. I know no one from Delaware. Is anybody a listener of this show in Delaware? I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, what else does Delaware have to offer? They gave us Joe Biden. I mean, I don't care who you voted for. Like Joe Biden's been a shit show. All right, and I'm not this is not a political show. But I mean, dang, like it's just I don't know what good comes out of Delaware. Can anybody put that in the chat? If you're watching this, even after the fact, live or not live, tell me something good to come out of Delaware because I don't know. I really don't know. Was George Washington from Delaware? Maybe he was. I know, Delaware is one of them early states, right? They got here early. They did the thing early. Kind of like the first look show. Anyway, that's what I think is going down with Wilmington Country Club. That's what I think is going to matter. That's all you need to know. I'm telling you. Bombers, mid to long irons, bent grass putters, 3-putt avoidance, lag putting. Yes. Okay. What else? Maybe some bunker, maybe some decent bunker play. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know anything else. No sales tax in Delaware. That's beautiful. That's a great thing to know about Delaware. There you go. DuPont and gunpowder and plastics. That's in Delaware? Huh. Who knew? Is DuPont good? I don't even know. What does DuPont do? I mean, I know, didn't that used to be on the Jeff Gordon car back in the day? Your dad lives in Dogfish beer. Okay, well, I don't know. I've never had Dogfish beer. It's probably pretty good. I mean, I like beer. So, Jackie's unsubscribing because I made one comment about Joe Biden being. Listen, voters for Joe Biden. know that Joe Biden's been a shit show. Okay. So bye, Jackie. I'm sorry. I rarely get political on the Tour Junkies show, like if ever. I don't think we've ever done it because I don't care about politics. I really don't. Neither does Pat. People think we do, but we don't. We really don't give a shit. So, I mean, I've been through presidents I've liked and presidents I haven't liked. And you know what I've come to find out? Most of them don't really affect my life all that much. I'm not super wealthy. I'm not dirt poor. So most of them don't really, impact me. So I don't stress about the ones I don't think I like, and I don't get all giddy and erect about the ones that I am supposed to like. So forget it. Jackie, I'm sorry it hurt your feelings. All right, here we go. Oh, nice beaches in Delaware. Cool. All right, let's get to the odds before I get myself in trouble. Oh, let's do this. I want to try this. This is new. This is new. Poor Pat. I got to decide between now and the shows tonight how big of a victory lap I'm taking on Pat tonight, because I don't want to go too far, because he's already told me, he's like, I need the shows crisp tonight, DB. My kids start school tomorrow and I don't want to be up all night talking about blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, awesome, Pat. Well, my kids started school every, last 2 weeks. And, we try to make the shows crisp every week, but whatever. So he's already bitching at me about the shows this week. So I'm going to try to keep them crisp for him. So I got to know, because if I go too hard in on him over the Willie Z victory, he could totally walk off the podcast again, which he's done before. And then I could be sitting here doing the whole thing by myself, which I don't want to do. So I got to know how far I can push it with him tonight before I run him off, or before he gets all triggered and blows up on me. Maybe like some of you have done watching this video, because I said one thing about our president. But it's so funny because at Sedgefield, Pat was all in on Willie Z, and I went on my whole rant about, is Willie Z really going to win you any money if you hit him at 16-1, because that's what he was at Sedgefield, and I didn't really think it was a great bet. And me and producer Sam went all in on Pat for being for Willie Z, and of course Willie Z makes a cut on the number, finishes T21, disappoints, right? And then last week I did this. Let's see if this works. It may not work. So if it doesn't work, I'm sorry. Tell me in the chat if you can't hear this. Here we go. I just want to relive this. Moment for a second. Here we go. But I kind of like it. I got another one that I like though, Pat.
Okay.
It's Willie Z.
Oh gosh. Jeez.
It's Willie Z. Listen.
Damn it.
Willie Z comes out on this golf course for the first time, seeing it last year, finishes, what does he finish? 8th? Where is he? Yeah, he finishes 8th. Okay.
Pat hates this.
You mentioned he's making a lot of birdies. We talked about it. He's making a ton of birdies, Pat. But I just think Will Z, this is a place where ball strikers a premium. Bad putters can do fine here. Bad putters can do fine. And Willie Z is a bad putter. I just think this is an interesting spot for the kid. TPC Southwind. Bermuda is one of his better. Anyway, I don't want to play the whole clip, but obviously Pat couldn't say his name last week. It was hilarious. Also, Dan Hicks thinks Will Zalatoris is one of the best putters on tour. Now, listen, he did putt better yesterday. It was great to see, and he's had good putting weeks and days. He's also had weeks where he looked like he had Parkinson's when he was hitting a putt. But yesterday he looked good. Now the playoff was ridiculous. I mean, what a crap show that playoff was. And his coach, Josh Gregory, is one of our friends. We're going to have Josh on again. He's been on the podcast before a few years ago. We're going to have Josh back on the podcast here pretty soon. And I really want to talk to him about what he's done with Willie Z, because I do think it is improving and the trend is up. And if it continues to play well and he continues to putt more consistently, then watch out. This could be, an interesting run for Will Z. Because, I mean, you finally break through and get that monkey off your back and get that first PGA Tour win. And I mean, he could run here in the playoffs. He could run. All right, let's open up the betting odds. That's enough. I'm 15 minutes in. I haven't even looked at an odd. I haven't looked at anything. So here we go. First look. Here we go. I'm going to pull up DraftKings, FanDuel, and BetMGM. I don't think I'm going to like this, because there's going to be very little long shot discussion. We've seen that the BMW, the second playoff event, tends to go towards the best players in the world, right? It's a no-cut event, so you're giving the best players in the world 4 rounds guaranteed to storm up the leaderboard. And obviously, the FedEx Cup tends to identify the best players playing that year, so you've got a bunch of studs in here. So the odds of somebody winning this thing at a long range really suck. I gotta be honest. I hate the short winners that have happened this year. I hate it. Last week on the first look show, Willie Z was at 26-1 on FanDuel. We talked about him on FanDuel. I don't think I actually wanted it yet. But then by the time I got through my research on Monday and I started thinking about it more, and then we get to the betting show Monday night, we talked about it. But then by the time I do my betting card, he's shorter than that, and I can't bet him at 25-1 on my betting card. But all these winners at shorter than 25-1, pissing me off. All right, let's go. Roy McIlroy is your favorite at 11-1. This is interesting. I'm on DraftKings. Cantlay, Rahm, Zalatoris, and Finau all 14-1. Why in the world would you put Rahm the same odds as Will Zalatoris? Now, Rahm did play better last week at Southwind. Sure. I wouldn't. I, I don't know that I wouldn't make Will Zalatoris the favorite. Like, why wouldn't we? I mean, what did Rory do last week? Anything? Did he do anything last week? Because I definitely don't. Yeah, he sucked. He missed the cut. Did he miss the cut? Yeah, he missed the cut. Um, I just this is going to be I'm not excited about this. Rory's the favorite on FanDuel as well. Cam Smith up there at 15-1. Where is Will Zalatoris? 16-1 on FanDuel. I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, if I were going to bet a shorter player, Will Z at 16, Will Z at 16-1 on FanDuel is where I'd go. I mean, that's where I'd go. Other than that, like, I mean, Fitzpatrick, I still like Fitzpatrick. 16-1 Fitzy. Justin Thomas is kind of broken right now, isn't he? Like, what? He just can't put four together, and he doesn't seem to have some of the really peak weeks like we're used to seeing him have. He finished 13th last week, but he just didn't feel like he was in the conversation whatsoever. Fitzy finished 5th. I like that. So I'll go with that. But I mean, Will Z's the click. Will Z's the click up here. I mean, or Finau. Continue to play Finau. Finau 16-1 on FanDuel as well. That's the best number for him. Why not? I mean, he continues to do his thing. What's the putting? Let me see. Where's what the putting look like for Will? I mean, for Finau last week, it wasn't bad. Finau, another top 5 finish. Like, why not? I think Will Z and Finau are the clicks. 16-1, that's it. And then we start moving. We start moving down the board. I mean, this is honestly, I don't think we need to overthink this. Obviously, Wilmington Country Club has not hosted a PGA Tour event. They've never hosted a professional golf event, to my knowledge. I couldn't find anything on Wikipedia or where, the ends of the internet. So I don't think I've seen, we don't know. There's a lot we don't know. So this is all coming down to course fit and form. That's what we're doing. And I do encourage you in your modeling and all that kind of stuff to go outside of your last. I've started to move more and more outside of the last 24 rounds and more like the 36-50 round range. After going back and listening to the Rufus Peabody interview like 3 other times since I interviewed him, I definitely think the long-term form is something that we need to look at a little harder. If we weigh too heavily into recent form, I think we miss some things. And then there's things like freaking Sepp Straka. What was going? Anyway, I don't want to talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about it on the show tonight. Oh, my God, how bad has he been? And then he just, he should have won. He should have beat Willie Z yesterday. And I was honestly going to laugh a little bit. I was going to laugh a lot if Willie Z lost to Sepp Straka in a playoff again, or for his 3rd playoff loss. All right, let's keep moving down the board. JT Xander's at 16, Scheffler's at 16. I could see a bounce back week from Scheffler here. I don't mind that. He just had a bad. The putter was like super weird. Scheffler's at 18-1. I don't hate that as we keep working down. I don't hate that for Scotty. Xander I'm out on. Cam Smith I'm probably gonna stay out on as well. I liked him a lot going into last week, but 13th. I just, Cam Smith's okay. I'd rather have the other guys up in that range. Then we get into Colin Morikawa, who, had a really nice week for one, finally. We had Morikawa finish 5th last week at TPC Southwind. Good for him. Good to see him hit his irons well again. Do I want to bet on him after that week to outright, to come out and win? I don't think so, but it's one to watch, one to keep looking at. Then you get Sung Jae, Sammy B. So Sammy B, I mean, I would rather have a little more pop in the bat than what Sung Jae has at 20-1. Sam B, Victor Hovland, Cam Young, all here at 28 to 30 to 1 on DraftKings. Let me see. Sam Burns and Young, a bounce back for Cam Young, are both interesting numbers for me. Let's see. Where's Hovland? What did Hovland do last week? 20th. I mean, the good news about Hovland here is he's probably not going to have to chip a lot. Like if you miss these greens at 8,100 square feet, my God, I mean, I can't even imagine. What are we? I wouldn't worry about Victor Hovland whatsoever. Hey, if you're watching this, by the way, hit the like button. Okay, there's like 70 of you watching this live. Please hit the like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already, please. Thank you. All right. Best numbers for Burns. Oh, yeesh, that's bad. Burns and Young, not good numbers on FanDuel. Young 33 to 1 on BetMGM. Let's do that. Sammy B, best numbers on DraftKings at 28. If you guys see better numbers elsewhere, let me know, because I'm only looking at these 3 books right here. So let's all help each other. That's what we do on the Monday show. On the Monday morning show, we all help each other look for the best numbers. We fire on some of these guys early. So at the end of the show, we're going to recap our favorite bets and outrights. All right. So right now, Sam Burns, I'm clicking. Cam Young, Sam Burns at 28 to 1 on DraftKings. Cam Young at 33 to 1 on BetMGM. I mean, Cam Young definitely had a disappointing situation, finishing 31st last week at Southwind, but I don't. It doesn't wreck me or take me off of him. It just makes him longer, which I love. I mean, this is going to be a great course for him. But what did Max Homa do? I see somebody in the chat who's, let's see, somebody's talking about Max. Well, I thought somebody was talking about Max Homa. Oh yeah, Joseph. My first click was Max Homa at 55 to 1. Well, let's take a look. What did he do? Because he didn't really. He finished 42nd. Let's see. If I click his name, oh no, that's wrong. Oh, God dang it! I just clicked out of my Fantasy National tab. Homa. All right. Maximus Homa, he sucked with his irons. The irons, and that's been a trend. He wasn't good with the irons at the Open. He wasn't good with the irons at the Rocket Mortgage. He wasn't good with the irons last week at the FedEx St. Jude. The irons are not going well, and I don't like that here. Like I definitely, you're going to have to. I mean, this is going to end up being, definitely potentially a dart throwing contest. I think the winning score, by the way, we haven't talked about that. I think the winning score. I haven't seen any odds or over unders come out yet on the winning score, but I think it's probably going to be similar to what we saw at Southwind, maybe even a little better, but I don't think it gets to 20. I think it gets to that like 15 to 18 range, just from what I'm looking at. Ju Young Kim, no, I'm not going to do that. By the way, where did you get Homa at 55 to 1? Because he's 35 to 1 on, he's 50 to 1 on FanDuel. I mean, if you like Homa, you can get him some, 50 to 1 on MGM. I'm not betting Ju Young Kim here. I think this Southwind setup just as good for him, I think, is Sedgefield. Not super long. I think this one's a little different. I think Wilmington's going to very much suit the Bombers. Neiman, Lowry, Connors. What Neiman started out hot last week, didn't he? And then he just kind of didn't. Or no, he finished 13th. I like Neiman here a good bit. Let's see, what's the best? 40 to 1 on DraftKings, 45 on FanDuel, 33. So on MGM. So FanDuel 45 to 1 Joaquin Neiman. That is an interesting click for me. I'll have to do some research on his. Let's see, what's his best putting surface here, because that's usually the thing for old Joaquin Neiman. Bent is his best putting surface. In fact, it's the only putting surface that he gains strokes on. I love that. He gained 7.2 strokes ball striking at the St. Jude. He lost over a stroke around the greens. But listen, if you lose strokes around the greens at a place like TPC Southwind with grainy, tight Bermuda situations down there, like I get that. This is going to be a different situation. So, and Neiman's normally a pretty underrated player around the green. So I like that. I like a Neiman bounce back here the more I look at it. So, or not a bounce back, but I mean, 13 to 1. I mean, or finished 13th. I wouldn't say that he had a bad week. But Neiman at 45 to 1 on FanDuel seems to be the best number. Let's keep working down the board here. Lowry, no. Connors, no. Hatton, no. Aaron Wise again. God dang it. Why do I do this to myself? I love Aaron Wise. I know Crazy Marcus is in. He's gonna say something about Aaron Wise too. I mean, I just love Aaron Wise. I just do. God, he gained 6.4 with his ball striking, lost 3.5 around the greens and on the greens. But again, Aaron Wise is another example. Like this is interesting. Wise and Neiman, both guys who typically, historically, over the large part of their career, are pretty much on average scramblers or slightly better chipping than anybody else than the average tour player. But they get on grainy Bermuda and they suck. And so that's what I guarantee you that's what happened last week. Chipping off that grainy Bermuda stuff is not easy. We have it at my club. I grew up on it. Like it's not easy. I remember talking to John Tillery a couple years ago at Cuskawilla. John Tillery coaches like Fowler and Kisner and Sepp Straka and these guys, and talking about how different it is to chip off a grainy Bermuda. So it's a thing. It is definitely a thing. So if a guy like Aaron Wise has a 6.4 strokes game ball striking week last week, he checks all the boxes long term, but he just had a really crappy short game, situation. I mean, I like Wise here. So dadgummit, here we go again. 60-1 on DraftKings, FanDuel 55-1, BetMGM 40. Yeah, I mean, so we're getting it looks like we're getting some value on Aaron Wise at 60-1. Have I pissed anybody off yet with the Aaron Wise? Kyle Parr here is 71. Um, yeah, okay. So here we go. Ben Hill's asking about if Finau's putter. He definitely anyone knows tee to green numbers. Yeah, we just talked about Finau. You can go back and listen if you missed that. But we did just talk about Finau. I like Finau here still. I'll tell you what his ball striking numbers were. He gained strokes across the board for the fourth week in a row, fourth tournament in a row. I mean, Finau's hot right now, dude. You can't don't hop off the Finau train yet. I just think we ride it. We ride the Finau train. Keep going. All right, let's keep moving down the board. I don't want this thing to take too freaking long. I'm already at 27 minutes. I cannot keep this show short. Adam Scott, but I can't. I'm done with Adam Scott. I can't predict Adam Scott. I'm done. I'm out. Nope. Keith Mitchell, Hideki, two, all kind of stuff. Like I just can't. I don't know if Hideki's ever. I don't know if he's really injured or if he just is ready to go to live. I don't know what's going on with Hideki, and the odds kind of reflect it for him. But I'm still out. Cam Davis might be a bomb to be worth looking at. 65-1 on DraftKings. He's 60-1 on FanDuel. BetMGM, he is 66. So we get a little. BetMGM always does this to us. They give us that one little extra, that little beep boop. 66-1 on Cam Davis. He got definitely a better player on bent grass greens. Form is great. Ball strike, iron is great. Irons are great. And the last couple of events, or at least the FedEx, like I think restricts him a little bit off the tee. Now I think he can open it up. I think this is a great spot for Cam Davis. So as a long shot at 66-1, and I would consider that a long shot for a tournament like this where we see a lot of the cream rise to the top. I like that Cam Davis play a good bit. No on Billy Ho, no on Russell Henley, no on Matt McNeely, no on Mito. Davis Riley's, I mean, what Davis do? Did he miss the cut? No, he finished 31st. I don't mind. Let's see. Let's take a look at Davis Riley. Like this could be this is gonna be hard to do, like to pull on a guy like this at a tournament like this. No, what am I doing? He did gain 4 strokes off the tee. That was cool. No, I can't bet Davis Riley. We're talking about winning outright. When we get to this range, you got to say to yourself over and over again before you click the outright button, can this guy win in this field? That's what you got to keep doing. Uh, Despite Brian Harman's good play last week, I don't think this is as good of a course for him as TPC Southwind was. Not to say he can't play well here. I think he can, but I think he'd have to even play more so, out over his skis at a place like Wilmington Country Club than he did this past week at Southwind. Seamus Power, no. Sahith at 90. Again, can he win? Can he win? Can he win against this top elite field? 4 rounds guaranteed, maybe, maybe not. Keegan, no. Pendrith. I mean, this is going to be a great spot for Pendrith. Varner, I don't know what's going on with him. I got to cut it off here. We can talk more long shots tonight on the betting show. Does anybody have any questions? Mamba mindset. How do you like Xander? I mean, I don't mind him maybe in DFS. I don't think I want to bet him outright. There's names in that category I like much, much, much better than Xander. Thanks for watching, though. Joseph's asking about Stallings. God, he disappointed me so bad last week. So bad. It could have been the local factor. He had a lot of friends and family in town. I know that. That could have been an issue. But to win, I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to. He's going to check a lot of boxes. He is, but to actually come through with a win, I'm not sure. Um, Maybe a top 5 might be as bullish as I'd go on Scott Stallings, or top 10 maybe here. But yeah, probably not. All right, so let's talk about my favorite clicks that we've made on the show today. I definitely think Zalatoris and Finau is where it's at. And I hate weeks like this because I don't like betting short numbers. You guys know that about me in golf. I just don't. But I mean, the trend, what's happening is happening. There's and then the odds makers aren't giving us great value either. There's so many guys under 20 to 1, 25 to 1. But Willie Z and Tony Finau, if I'm picking 2 players up to 25 to 1, those are the 2 players I'm clicking. The third player based on value is Scotty Scheffler for a little bounce back here at 18 to 1 on BetMGM. But Will Z and Tony Finau keep riding it, and they're both longer on FanDuel than anywhere else that I can see at 16 to 1. I would bet those right now. I wouldn't wait. If you like Scheffler at 18 to 1, I don't mind it, but it's not I would rather have Finau and Zalatoris. From there, Sam Burns at 28 to 1 on DraftKings. I'll take that one. We are off Bermuda now, which he has a little bit of an advantage. But I would take that. I actually like Cam Young probably more at 33 to 1 on MGM. So if I had to choose between one in that range, I'd go Cam Young at 33 on BetMGM. Then we're talking back to FanDuel, the best number on Joaquin Niemann. I like the Joaquin Niemann bet a good bit. I like the value. I think you get a guy who is an elite player, elite ball striker, and can win a big tournament. I mean, you win the Riviera, that's a big tournament. So Joaquin Niemann at 45 to 1, I think is really solid value in a field this deep and this strong. So I'll hit that on FanDuel. And then we go to 2 more. Aaron Wise at 60 to 1 on DraftKings. I'll continue to be a sucker for Aaron Wise and chase it. Hadn't won in a couple years, but he's got the game to do it. He really does. And he's competed in big fields, majors. The ball striking is there. He had a bad, abnormally bad week around the greens last week, but it was the grainy Bermuda to me. So I'll take Aaron Wise at 60 to 1. And then finally, Cam Davis at 66 on BetMGM. Long hitter, irons are hot, form is hot, performs best on bent grass. I will do that. I will do that. So, yes, so that's it for me. Yes, Jackie, I got to keep it crisp tonight because Pat's going to be pissed. Wow, 100 people watching live. That's more live viewers I think I've ever had on this show doing this on a Monday. This is weird. I don't know why it's the BMW, but hey, everybody click the like button, please. Comment who you like the best, who you don't like, who you're out on. Should I hammer Pat on the Willie Z stuff tonight? Should I really go all in on Pat? On the Willie Z train, I don't know. I feel like I probably should. Here's Pat again. This is what he's doing, caddying at the U.S. Mid-Am qualifier with his blue shirt and his probably vodka drink while pushing a trolley down the way. Thanks everybody for watching. I really do appreciate it. Toby, I see you. Dave, I see you. Tar Heels, you're welcome. David, you think he deserves it? David thinks he deserves it. I like that. Dave thinks apparently people named Dave and David think he deserves it. Chris, yes. Hammer Pat. Thank you, Chris. Chris watches every video. I love it. Thank you, Jackie. That's very nice of you. It's the best Monday morning content. Good Lord. I'll just keep it going as long as you keep saying complimentary things. Maybe I'll just keep it. I'll just keep throwing the comments up there. Oh, look, we got a Twitch watcher. Come at him as hard as he came at Willie Z. There we go. Alan, my boy AK. Listen, let's do it. All right. I think I'll end it there. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let's have a great